Welcome back to the Poor Valley Princess Kitchen. I'm Beth Morgan, and today we are cooking up some of my favorite oatmeal cookies. Now, if you are an oatmeal cookie lover, you may find that this cookie has a little bit of a different ingredient than you may be used to. And that secret ingredient that we're using today in these cookies is peanut butter. So to get started off, if you have a KitchenAid mixer or something like a KitchenAid mixer, I suggest using it for this recipe because there's quite a bit of mixing. Our butter goes in. I did let this butter soften at room temperature for about 45 minutes, so it's pretty soft. And just cream that butter and sugar together, your white sugar and your brown sugar, and then throw that peanut butter in as well. We're going to let that cream together till it's all pretty nicely mixed up. And it takes just a few minutes, which is why I recommend using a KitchenAid or some sort of stand mixer. It just gets all that yummy sugar blended in with the butter really nicely. I am having a yard sale this Saturday, and I thought, hey, why not mix up a batch of these cookies and maybe some cakes and some different things to sell at the yard sale because I live in the middle of nowhere and, people might want a little snack while they're out and about going to some different sales. So it's a pretty fun weekend. Almost every house around has a yard sale because there is a huge, like 13-mile yard sale that goes on just past my home. And so they have to pass where I live to get to this big 13-mile yard sale. And I pick up a lot of that traffic as they go by. So I'm hoping that these cookies, make somebody's day. All right, so it looks like our brown sugar, our white sugar, our butter, and our peanut butter are almost nicely mixed together. And so we're ready to go on to our next step. For our next step, we're going to add in our eggs. Now, I have some farm fresh eggs sitting out on the counter, so I'm going to grab a couple of those, get those cracked and ready to add into our butter sugar mixture. And while that is mixing up real nicely, I'm going to tell you about this vanilla that I'm getting ready to add in. A couple of ladies at my church actually made this vanilla last year for our Lottie Moon auction that we have every year in December to support the Lottie Moon mission offering. And this vanilla is so good. They did such a good job making this vanilla. I have used it sparingly over the past year because it is just delicious. So our vanilla is added in, and now a couple of tablespoons of water, and that's going to get our buttercream, peanut butter mixture all nicely incorporated, and it's going to be ready to go. And you can see I'm scraping down the sides of the KitchenAid. I don't know why. If you have some recommendations on how I can keep it from gathering up on the sides like that, maybe I need to use a different attachment. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. Whatever you have found works well to keep all of your ingredients from gathering up on the sides of the bowl. I am definitely open to suggestions if you have any. And so I went a little crazy here with the flour, and I thought, ooh, I better turn that down before it ends up all over the place. So now we're just going to add in our flour a little bit at a time to get that dough going. And you can see it's going to make a pretty thick cookie mixture. And let's add in our baking soda. Get that mixed in. Can't forget that step. And you can see already that our cookie dough is coming together, so pretty. And there's the salt. And now I'm just going to get that mixed up really well before I add in the main ingredient, our oatmeal. See there, I'm having to scrape down the sides again. And get that dough going. I can just taste these cookies already. All right, while this is mixing up, I'm going to go ahead and get my oatmeal ready. I am using the instant oatmeal. I have accidentally used the non-quick oats in the past, and it was fine, but I think the quick oats just cooks up faster. And yes, you are seeing correctly. I do keep my quick oats in an old half-gallon um, pickle jar, and so I can fit 2 containers of quick oats in that one jar, and it takes up less space in my cabinet, so I keep my quick oats in that old pickle jar. And now we're going to throw in the chocolate chips. Mmm, so yummy. And get that mixed up. And it is time to get that oatmeal ready as well. Now we're throwing in those quick oats. And this is going to make our cookie dough so thick. I will warn you, this part gets a little hard to stir. You have to use a little muscle to get all that oatmeal mixed in with your batter that you've already got mixed up. But it is so yummy. Now, could you go ahead and bake this mixture? Just go ahead and do your cookies right now. Sure, you could. But your cookies are going to be so much firmer and evenly distributed if you will pop this in the refrigerator for about an hour and let your dough chill. It just makes it so much easier to bake the cookies. So we're going to take this mixture, pop it in the fridge, and we'll be back to bake them up in about an hour. The cookie dough has been chilling for an hour and it is ready to form our cookie balls to put into the oven to bake. Now I'm using an old Pamper Chef ice cream scoop here. You can use a spoon. You can do it ever how you want to. And I'm also not making perfect little cookie balls to bake. I'm just scooping out a mound and placing it on the parchment paper. I am using parchment paper because this recipe makes so many cookies. What I can do is when I bring it out, I can just pull that parchment paper right out onto my cookie cooling rack, and then I can start another round of cookies baking on my cookie sheet. You can see here I am fitting 8 cookies. This is a small cookie pan. But of course, you can bake large batches, just whatever you have available. And these are ready to go in the oven. Cookies are ready to come out, and they look delicious. Yummy. Give them a try. You won't regret making this cookie. So give them a try today. They are so yummy. Thanks for watching. Be sure you like and subscribe. See you next time on the Poor Valley Princess.